Welcome in, everyone, to our Cracked Racquets coverage of this year's Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. So exciting to be back in Reading, Pennsylvania, with a completely different cast of 6 players all ready to compete in the next 2 days of action. And joining us now here in our Cracked Racquets media booth, one of our 6 competitors, a man you know best as the current world number 68 in the ATP rankings. It's 21-year-old Hugo Gaston. Hugo, thank you for taking the time to join us here this weekend. I'll start here. What made you want to participate in this event?
Yeah, for me it's an honor to play here. That's an amazing place, so I am very lucky, and that's also nice for me to prepare the US Open and Winston-Salem next week. So I'm going to play my best, and we will see what is going on.
Yeah, I know fans here are very much looking forward to all the shot making you bring to the court. Certainly, I'm curious, exhibition events. That's something you have a lot of experience with?
No, not a lot of experience. I do some exhibition sometimes, but that's a good exhibition for us, for all of us, because it's nice to play here. It's also in US, so for us it's really comfortable because we can go in our tournament after. So it's nice to play here, to play a match, and that's good.
And I am curious, and again, number 68 in the world, by the way, not too shabby. I think, am I better than all but 67 other people at anything when I was 21? And the answer was no. Not even drinking beer, none of it. Didn't have that skill set. That said, looking at your record this season, I'm sure it's not where you want it to be. Was part of the reason, obviously, you mentioned the preparation, just to get a few extra matches under your belt. Was that important to you this weekend?
Yeah, for sure, it's important. I didn't play a lot of matches in this year, so I need to play a lot of matches to be ready, to have a lot of confidence in my game. So it's nice. I'm gonna play minimum two matches, maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. We'll see. But yes, for me it's important to play and to take some confidence in my game.
Don't tell the other players. I think we're gonna get 3 or 4. If I was a gambling man, that's what I would say. Yeah, but you talk about that confidence, and to anyone who's seen you play, you're a shot maker. You're a guy who is not afraid to mix in the drop shot, the slices. You play a game that I'm sure sometimes disrupts not only the rhythm of your opponent, but your own rhythm. And I'm curious, you mentioned that confidence. Given your game style, how important is that confidence? Is it difficult at times to find your rhythm?
Sometimes.
Sure.
I mean, I'm also lucky to have I can do a lot of shots, maybe all the shots of tennis, but I have to take the good one and the good moment. So that's not never easy, but I mean that's I'm lucky about that, and I know I can do a lot of things. Of course, I love drop shot. I love to run on the really hard ball. So I mean, I love to do something different. So maybe that's why the people also like to watch me play. But I mean, I'm here to try my best and to do the best shot also. Yeah,
well, I know, again, all of us fans will appreciate that. And, obviously, a lot of us got to know you last year during your run in Paris. Us hardcore fans got to know you a little bit before that, obviously, with all of your challenger success you've had over the past few seasons. With that in mind, I'm curious, this past year, it's been primarily a tour-level schedule, right? Fewer challengers, more tour-level events, even if that means qualifying. What have you learned about your game throughout this year of scheduling? Probably, I would imagine, the toughest of your career.
Yeah, I mean, I think the difference between the Challenger and the ATP Tour, it's directly on the first round. You didn't have a preparation match. I mean, all the players play good. I mean, but I can play a player like 20 in the world and in the first round, so that's for sure different than Challenger. So I have to be ready for the first point and not after one set because it's too late. So that's maybe the difference, but that's also a nice challenge for me, and I think I'm better than the start of the year, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I know last week we were in Cincinnati as well. If you're playing David Goffin, first round of qualifying, you're like, come on. You're like, I can't get a little bit easier easier than that. That just speaks to, again, how tough life is on the ATP Tour. But you talk about those first balls, those first points. You know, looking at the statistics for you this season, excuse me, something I notice is, you know, the first serve and the win percentage, how that number has increased. Even if sometimes you're making fewer first serves, it feels like you're going after it more. You know, that's what the numbers say. Is that what you're actually trying to do? Like, is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to do the best on the court because against Goffin last week, if you didn't put the good ball, you lost the point for sure. Yeah. That's the same with every player. So you have to play the good shot, like I'm saying. And for sure, the first shot of the point are pretty important. The first serve, the first shot after the serve, the return. That's 3 points. That's pretty important for all the tennis player.
And you know, again, we've talked about the physical side. I am curious from the mental perspective, and obviously you've been on the travel grind really the past 24, 36 months, 2 years of this now. First full year again of tour level travel, has it been a little bit easier than maybe going from challenger to challenger site? How has the mental, you know, how mentally taxing has this year been for you?
Yeah, in general, the tennis, it's not easy mentally, sure. But I mean, we have to stay focused to stay in our game. I have a coach for mentally, so for me it's important to work on that point. And after, I mean, we are all different, so sometimes I'm gonna try to improve in some points, and other player that's not the same one. So we have to find the key of that, and that's like for the same in the tennis. I mean, it's pretty important for us to be really calm and focus on our game.
Well, it's so interesting to hear you say that, and I say this lovingly. And by the way, you can swear at me if you feel the need to. Don't worry, you won't get in trouble for this. I'm not going to tell the ATP. You are an entertainer. There's no doubt about it. People love seeing the drop shots. People love seeing the thrill that you go for. At the same time, I'm curious from your perspective, because I'm sure it's really cool when 5,000 people are yelling for you and you're landing that drop shot. At the same time, the 4 times you miss it, you're probably, and I'm sorry, super producer Daniel West, you're probably like, oh, fuck me. Like, that didn't work too well. How do you balance those two things in your head? I'm curious, because you want to entertain, I'm sure, but you also want to win.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a point of my game. Yeah, I do a lot of drop shots in my game. For sure, I'm gonna win a lot of points with that. But I'm also gonna lose a lot of points because that's the game. We cannot win every point, and that's why I'm saying it's important to put the good shot in a good moment, not every drop shot in every point, because for sure the opponent gonna go to the net directly. So I have to look the opponent and to see what was the best shot to do. So I have to be really clear in my head, and after to do the good shot and the drop shot.
That said, I'm not going to let you bail out. You do enjoy the entertainment, right? Like, every third drop shot is for the fans, maybe as much as it is for you.
No, that's
okay. I like it.
For me. Yes. I like to be to see my opponent run in the court, so that's why I'm doing a drop shot.
No, I love to hear.
For sure, so for the public, for the crowd, if they love it, I love it also.
Yeah, perfect. Well, then today, I promise you're going to have some people here in Pennsylvania who love it. Well, last 2 questions for you. Got to start with the outfit. Fantastic Adidas combination we've got working today.
It?
Yeah, that's a great shirt, right? And I mean, is that just from the Adidas collection? They send that to you and you're ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, I'm lucky with Adidas. That's an amazing mark. I started to work with them in January this year, so it's really nice. I can wear like these shoes not only in tennis, and I can be really relaxed, and that's good. I'm really comfortable inside, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, no, it's 100. I mean, you and I are the only 2 people crazy enough to wear pants right now when it's 90 degrees outside. But
that's true.
You know, je parle un peu français, so you know, je ne comprends pas parce que je parle un peu. No, with that said, again, 2 days of tennis ahead of us. You've gotten the chance to hit with some of the players here on site, have fun. I'm curious for you, again, any goals this weekend? I'm sure it's always fun to win, but any things in particular you're looking to work on as that U.S. Open and Winston-Salem come up?
Yeah, first we are all lucky to play here in this amazing house, amazing place. So first we're lucky to play, and we're gonna try our best at staying a match. So for sure we wanna take the title, but there is only one person who can win. But first we have to improve our game, to play matches, to be happy also on court, because it's important. That's a game, so we have to be happy, and we will see the result.
I love to hear that. Have you ever played in a house like this?
No.
It's crazy,
yeah,
right?
It's amazing, yeah. Thanks to the people who
of course
who make this court first, and it's really nice. We're gonna enjoy and to take a lot of fun on court.
Have you had a chocolate chip cookie yet?
Not yet.
Oh, at least 10. That's the number for the weekend, I tell you, my friend. But Hugo Gaston, thank you so much for taking the time to chat, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Good to go. Perfect.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, really appreciate it so much. Yeah, of course. Good luck this weekend. Yeah, of course. Are you staying at the same hotel as everyone? Yeah. You're pretty close to it. Yes. Good. Here. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it is. It's unreal. I was like, that's so sick. Yeah. No, it is for sure.
That's not the waste of things.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I like the basketball. I like that they send you other stuff as well. Yeah, it's not the work.
You can put this one in the city, I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like Adidas techniques.
Exactly. It's not just it's typical run-of-the-mill stuff. Yeah. It's not blatant. Exactly. It's a little more subtle.
So that's nice.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I like it, but appreciate it, of course. Yeah, we'll chat more, I'm sure, this weekend. Awesome. You ready for us? Yeah, of course. I'm Alex. Nice to meet you. You and me both, my friend. And by everywhere, I mean nowhere. And so no one gets to see that. No, you're fine. Will you say your last name for me? I don't want to get Forete. One more time. Forete. Good enough. Yeah, good enough. It'll work. Okay, this is for you. I need to make sure. Did you text us? Welcome back, Cracked fans. We continue Media Day here at the 2022 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. It's a beautiful day here in Reading, Pennsylvania, and a fantastic chance for us to get the chance to chat with all of our competitors. And joining us now is 21-year-old world number 222, Jonas Forejček. Jonas, I know I butchered the last name. I tried my best, I promise, but pleasure to get the chance to chat with you. How are you doing today?
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Of course, it's our pleasure, and I want to start here. Have you ever played in a court like this before?
Never. I have to say I really like it. I came today, first time I practice here, and yeah, it's nice court. It's like very calm.
Yeah, I can't imagine a more beautiful setting, even beyond just to have the shrubbery, all the trees everywhere. Have you had any of Mrs. Emke's chocolate chip cookies yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, it's a training block for you. You got the U.S. Open coming up. Yeah, so yeah, we'll get there eventually, I promise. But, you know, first and foremost, I know the U.S. Open's around the corner. Are you playing Winston-Salem next week?
No, because I'm playing qualifying next week of U.S. Open.
That will make a lot of sense. So with that in mind, why was this weekend the best preparation for you heading into qualifying?
I think it's tough I heard it's tough to practice in New York in the site.
Sure.
And I got opportunity to get here. At least I was playing a lot on clay, so at least I can get few matches on hardcore. So I think it's pretty good. And then we get still early to New York. We get Saturday evening, so it's fine.
Yeah, and word on the street is this court up to U.S. Open specification. So hopefully you're getting that bounce to you. But you mentioned the clay court centric schedule for yourself this season, and I know there's been a lot of challenger success, a couple of quarterfinals, the semifinal in Hellebrand, at the start of May. I'm curious why the clay court centric schedule. Why was that the surface to play on?
It's just like this in Europe, I think.
Okay, sure.
We play always like till, I don't know, March. We play on hard court, indoor mostly.
Yeah.
And then all the tournaments in Europe are on clay. So I was playing on clay, and because of I got in US Open, then I switched to hard. And I'm not sure what my schedule will be. If I go still back to clay for a few tournaments and then to hard court, or I stay on hard court. I'm not sure yet.
And just so you know, you're sitting with a Czech tennis aficionado. And by that, what I mean is whether it's yourself, whether it's Yuri, who's obviously had a fantastic past 24 months. I don't want to even try and say his last name, but Tomas, who of course has also been spectacular over the past few years. It's fascinating to watch all of you guys have success on the indoor hard courts, which makes sense to me given the climate in your home country, and then make that successful transition to clay as well. Indoor hard courts, clay, not exactly the same thing. I'm curious, what is, again, how is it that you guys, and I'm not to typecast here, but you in particular seem to have success indoor hard courts and the clay as well? Why is that?
We are used to since the young age, I feel like. We always played whole summer on clay, and then in winter we have to play on hard court, so we are used to also indoor. I think that the biggest problem for us was to get used to outdoor hard court, because we never played outdoor hard court until we were like 16, 17.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the hardest, but now it's fine.
Do you enjoy? So I grew up in Michigan, which is a state that's similar climate. We're indoors 6 months of the season. To me, anyone who says transitioning from outside to inside, I think you're crazy. I'm like, indoor tennis is the easiest thing in the world. Yeah. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Indoor is much easier, I feel like. But it's for everyone the same, so it's a bit shorter release because you can play faster, no wind, no sun, nothing, and every day it's the same. So hardcore, outdoor, it's for sure harder, I think.
Yeah, plus it's harder on your lungs. I'm like, especially for me, I'm not trying to work that hard. I'm trying to have life be easy for myself. That's why I avoid the clay courts as well, let me tell you. But again, all of that was a setup to say, watching your game in particular, I watch your forehand, and I think anyone who sees your forehand says there's I get it. I get why that will work. For you in particular, as you've transitioned to the challenger level, do you find that forehand still holding up, having that success regardless of the level of opponent, and how have you felt about your game this year?
I was like a lot happier than last year, and I feel like my game was getting better. It was a bit more solid than last year, and yeah, I'm trying to work on the forehand. It can for sure be a bit better, but it's helping me a lot in the game. Yeah, I focus on the serve and forehand a lot.
Yeah, it shows for whatever it's worth, and it's definitely working out there. Well, as you move forward again through this 2022 season, and again, 21 years old, top 250 in the world, you're where you want to be. What are the things right now you are looking to improve in your game as you try to continue to jump up the rankings?
Yeah, I'm working also a lot on fitness to get a bit stronger. Also mentally, I have to be a bit more stable, I would say, or calm in some moments. So this is the most important thing, I would say. And also in the game, I try to improve basically everything. I try to have more solid backhand and try to do a lot with my serve and forehand, and I just keep working and let's see.
I would have loved if you're like, I haven't worked on anything. Like, not hitting volleys. I don't do that. That's not my thing. No, again, seeing your success, I think everyone sees the weapons, and as you try to develop that consistency as well, I think we all see how the pathway is there. That said, and I mentioned this to our earlier guest, so I'll say it to you. You don't have to swear at me, but if you want to on this question, I won't be offended. Obviously, the results, in particular, past 6 weeks, 7 weeks, haven't been where you want it to be. No. How do you stay calm during that? How do you look to flip the script here to end the season?
It was a bit different because in the last I was playing in Heilbronn.
Yeah.
That was my last tournament. And since then I was injured for a long time. I didn't play. I was out like for
6 weeks or something like that?
Yeah. Almost 2 months, because I just went for Wimbledon, and in Wimbledon I didn't practice before, but I was playing Heilbronn to get to Wimbledon.
Yeah, sure.
So I wanted at least to play Wimbledon.
Okay.
And then after Wimbledon I was again out for like 2 weeks. Then I started practicing very slowly, and I don't like when I am out with injury or something, that I don't like when I don't have enough matches.
Okay.
So yeah, it can for sure be better next time in case I would be out again.
Okay.
But it's getting slowly better, and I hope that in the next weeks it will be good.
That's what we like to hear. 6 weeks away from the court, what do you do in that time? A little video game action?
I had no idea how long the injury will take.
Okay, sure.
So I was always coming on Monday to try to practice.
Yeah.
And then then I still felt the pain. So I was doing always, and I tried always to recover in 1 week to be ready for the other week. But it took longer than I thought, so it was like 6 weeks.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you back here. My final question for you, again, beautiful site for some tennis to be played. What do you want to accomplish over the next 2 days?
I will just focus probably on my game.
Okay.
I will try to fight every point, and let's see, it's still my first matches on hard court. I'm happy that I will get at least some before US Open. So I will try to use this, and let's see how I will do.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, my friend, for taking the time to chat with us, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks a lot.
Welcome back, Cracked fans. We are continuing Media Day here at the 2022 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, and joining me now in our Cracked Racquets booth, it's our friend, and I should say the birthday boy himself, Samit Nagal. Samit, your birthday 2 days ago. Welcome to 25, my friend. How are you feeling?
A little bit old. I don't think I would
thought that I would feel like this, but yeah, now I started to feel a little bit old.
Yeah, well, just wait until we have Ryan Harrison, who's lingering in the background. He's 30 now, and I remember when he was the 16-year-old teenage sensation. So I feel old just looking at him.
I think anything above 24 is pretty much same. You start feeling it.
Yeah.
You start feeling it a bit.
No doubt about that. And, obviously for you, and transition of all transitions, an injury typically associated with old people, you recently had a hip surgery.
Right.
And I'm curious for you how that recovery process has been, how the hip is feeling.
It was a little bit tough coming back earlier this year. I did everything I could. It was unfortunate that I got re-injured again. Mm-hmm. I had to be out for 6 to 7 weeks again. And then now, actually, last couple of weeks have been good for me. Body's feeling much better, to be honest. I'm able to play 3 sets now, and running is as good as I could run before. So I'm happy with how my body's reacting in the last few weeks.
No, that's excellent to hear, and I am curious because any tennis player, just being around the lifestyle, you know how all-consuming it is from the time you're 8, 9 years old, 4 days a week, 5 days a week minimum, 2 hours a day on court. I'm assuming with your surgery you were forced off the court for at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks, and I'm curious for you, when was the last time you were off the court for that long a stretch of time, and what was that like for you?
Never, actually. This is my first time. I was out for maybe 4 months.
Okay, so even worse.
Exactly, 4 months. First 4 weeks, 5 weeks were just in bed.
That's what I figured.
And just doing a bit of rehab. I think it was fun. It did get a little bit boring towards the 5th or 6th month because I wanted to compete and I was not getting a chance because I was still getting back. But those 3-4 months were I would say was pretty awesome. I got to chill with my friends, spend some family time. Not if you know that I live in Germany, so it's tough to see my family. I probably get to see them once a year.
Okay.
And so that's my friends. So these months were good. I ate a lot of junk food. So I was like, why not? This is the only time I'm gonna get to eat. So not too bad, to be honest.
I like that mindset. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, this is the moment for you.
I mean, from past 10-15 years, you never get to do this. So,
no,
exactly.
Absolutely. And again, you recently turned 25 years old, which, let's be clear, that's not exactly old. You feel like your body can still recover at that point. I'm 26, which the only reason I bring that up, the first step for me is gone. It's not where it once was. And I'm curious for you, again, 4 months building back. What do those first few weeks look like? What is that process like?
Not even first few weeks. I would say first few months was very tough. I mean, body was, my leg kind of forgot like what to do.
Sure.
It was like this, and it was annoying me a bit because I never thought because this is my first surgery, so I had zero experience in how your body's gonna feel, and having a hip, having a joint. Yeah. It was, like I said, I was going on a court having zero idea how my leg is reacting towards my forehand side. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the more time I spent, the more matches I played, the more I practiced, got better and better and better.
Mm-hmm. Did the forehand, the backhand, the actual hitting the ball, that stay pretty constant?
Yes, that was okay. Moving towards backhand side was also normal. Hitting wise was actually I was playing better. Okay. Hitting wise I was hitting better.
Maybe thinking a little less.
Yeah, exactly. And then because after a bit you're so excited because you've not been on the court for so long that you don't care about small things, and that was the case. But like I said, moving was a little bit tough, but worked on it. Of course, everyone knows it's not going to be easy. People how tough it is to come back from a surgery. Yeah.
And for you, obviously, you're a guy who's had a ton of future success, a ton of challenger success. You're going to have to build your way back. I'm curious from a scheduling perspective, toggling between the two, playing futures events versus going and pushing yourself at the challenger level. How will you balance that over the next few months?
I don't want to go back to futures. Sure. Let's put it this way. So I mean, I've been playing.
You're not alone, by the way, my friend.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a hell.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But no, I've been playing challengers mostly. Tried to play all the slams, qualies of the slams. I was playing the challenger Liberec in Czech, and then in Mirbush. Gonna play US, then go back to challenger again, and then go to South America for some challenges. So that's how the end of the season sounds.
Are you gonna get hit your PR for a couple more matches?
Yes, I still have 5 more tournaments, something like
perfect.
this. So we'll use them towards the end.
So you used one at the U.S. Open?
Yes.
I'm curious if you considered, and this is such a nerdy question, but Cracked Rackets fans know this is coming. Do you consider playing Winston-Salem instead of U.S. Open qualies just to go and chase the points?
No, because at the end you do everything to play slams, right?
Okay.
Your whole purpose of playing tennis is to do well in the slams.
Sure.
You don't care. I mean, it's nice, sure, qualifying. If I'm qualifying and winning 2 rounds in Winston-Salem and qualifying at the slam, it's pretty much same. It's even better.
It's true.
So for me, slam over anything.
Plus,
because you see a lot of people are still playing Challenger this week, and they would rather plan to come whenever the tournament finishes than some players who like to come early to get ready, because you don't want to feel unprepared for the slams. Yeah.
Plus, we all saw today 60 million in prize money. Come on now.
Exactly.
Daddy likes to wet his beak as well.
Now you know.
Yeah, exactly. 80K for a first round loss. Like, sign me up.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's 80 this year. Yeah, so I'll see you there, my friend.
63 last year.
Yeah, I asked to use my protected ranking. They said there's nothing to protect.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
But no, with that in mind, again, I know you're working your way back, and obviously you're a guy who, when healthy, physicality is key for you in having success. As you look to build your game back, any new wrinkles we can expect from you? What are the things, did you pick up any things from the rehab process? Maybe like, I need to work on this +1. I need to do this. Any new things?
I mean, I think every tennis players have millions of rehab programs.
Sure.
Because, I mean, that's the, not only tennis players, I would say athlete. But for me, I think what is very important is enjoying the process, I would say, getting back there. Because what happens is when you're out for so long, your body kind of forgets a lot of things, It forgets what is competing. It forgets what is playing third set 5-all. It forgets what a dogfight is. It forgets what cramping is. And I think to experience that again is what I'm looking forward to, to go through all of this, You know how good it feels when you play a 3.5-hour match and you win, That's the best feeling you can have after a big injury. So I think these types of things is what I'm looking forward. Yeah.
Couple of follow-ups. A, you're the first person who's ever said I'm looking forward to cramping. I want that on the record. Super producer Danny Westhoff, cut the clip. B, you're absolutely right. Those are, I'm sure, the things you look forward to doing once again. And again, with that in mind, you're competing this weekend. Right. Part of my last 2 questions for you. A, have you ever seen a court like this played in an environment like this?
No, never actually. When I got here on 16th, I said, "Wow, what a beautiful place!" Not only the court but the garden. Everything is done so well. So I'm very, very excited to be here. Nice of people to organize this tournament. To give us an opportunity to be here a few days before the slam. Yeah.
No, my last question would be, or just a suggestion, Mrs. Emke's chocolate chip cookies. I know you're cutting out the junk food.
Yeah, it was tough to. I only had one. I didn't want you to eat more, but it was yummy.
My count's at 4. I'm trying to get to 10 a day. Just work a constant. I mean, again, I don't have a tournament to play, so let's try.
If I wasn't playing, 10 would be easy.
Yeah.
10 is like you eating at breakfast.
Yeah.
You're not even talking about lunch and dinner yet.
That's exactly.
10 would be easy.
That's exactly it. We'll
10 if I was going through an surgery.
10.
We make it
10 an hour.
30.
Yeah, 30. Okay.
30 a day.
The challenge has been set. I think I can do 30.
30 a day is
for you. I will. Again, it's an experiment for. That's why I'm beefing up here. But Smeet, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. Obviously, stay healthy and great to see you competing.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
4, 3. Welcome back, Cracks fans. We are live here at the 2022 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, continuing our media day where we are joined by a man I just affectionately referred to as a geezer, but of course he is our friend. And if you've been a fan of American tennis, you have certainly watched yourself a Ryan Harrison match once or twice in your day. Ryan, pleasure to get the chance to chat with you. Let's start with just this scenery. Have you ever played in an exhibition event, something like this?
It's incredible. Thank you guys for having me. And yeah, it's beautiful out here. You walk through the gates and this garden area, garden feel, but then you've got like the ivy bushes around the court. It's really inclusive and kind of gives it that almost like indoor sound when you're out there, so you really feel like you're getting yourself a good hit on the ball and it sounds nice. So it's great. Yeah, no, it's a gorgeous scene. Have you had any chocolate chip cookies yet? Not any chocolate chip cookies yet. We got to play tomorrow, so I'm keeping an eye out on my competitors, and if they eat one, then maybe I can. So I'm gonna let somebody else go for the first cookie. Is that the alcohol policy tonight too? It's like, all right, you had a beer, I can have a beer. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna walk over and be like, here, take this Gatorade, but I'm gonna have it spiked a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. That's just a smart move. Well, again, we were joking about this earlier, but you turned 30 years old September of this year. If you have May, actually. May of this year. Okay, just turned 30 years old, and obviously at that point you're a veteran. You've seen just about everything you can see in a pro tennis career. Now I know you've had some injuries and haven't quite played as much as you would like of late, but how are you feeling about your tennis at this point of your career? I'm feeling good. I mean, it's been a little bit of a long road trying to get back from the injuries. It's one of those things where your body just doesn't quite pick it up the way it did whenever you were 20, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. It just takes a little bit of time. But I played 4 tournaments this summer, and after only a couple tournaments, I had some really good wins last week, beating guys like Eubanks, Watanuki, Aziz guys like that who are good players, have been around. A lot of guys have, people have seen them play, and I know that just after a few weeks only of playing tournaments, to already be able to pull off wins against guys who are ranked around that 150 ranking, it bodes really well to know that I can just kind of dial it up and play that level. You were in Chicago a few weeks ago, correct? Yes, I was. Yeah. I'm curious for you to get back on that American Challenger circuit grind, see not only the Mike Cations of the world, but I'm sure guys you've competed against now for a decade plus. Does it feel good to be back in that rhythm? Yeah, I mean, it's great just to be back playing every week again. Like I said, picking it up and just kind of getting a few tournaments in a row where all of a sudden it starts feeling more comfortable. I'm highly motivated. I'm in good shape, and I don't have much to lose. So that makes me pretty dangerous because I don't really have much to hold back with right now. It's like I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at you and then some. But I'm excited. I mean, it's been a couple years. I'm not looking at it as like the writing's been on the wall for my best days. I don't think that it's very common for people to miss as much time as I have, and then within a couple tournaments be beating guys who are out there and have not missed a beat over the last couple of years. I mean, a lot of these guys that I've beaten in just a couple weeks of training have been playing pretty much every week for the last 3 years while I've been battling injuries and other things. So, for me to do that, I'm like, all right, there's a lot of life left in the tank, and I'm looking forward to it being a full-time thing again. 30 years young. Yeah, 30 years young is what we'll go with. And, again, you've been ranked as high as number 40 in the world, 2017 French Open doubles champion. You've seen just about everything one can see in this game at the same time. And again, I always like to warn our viewers and let our guests know, if you want to swear at me, I'm not going to hold it against you. Don't worry, I won't take it personally. But it's been said early in your career that maybe sometimes that motivation, that fuel, was lacking. And within 3 minutes here, I can tell that seems to be no longer the case. And I guess the question I'm asking is there any truth to that thought, that you are just a little bit more motivated, a little bit hungrier, and now 30 years old, a little bit more mature than you would have been 8 years ago? I think that what I've heard more than like the work ethic lacking is just more of like the experience of like emotional control out there. That's kind of, I don't think anyone's ever accused me of like not giving my best effort, but I think that at times that little line of like getting too frustrated out there, I'm a type A guy out there. I'm always going to be a competitor. I'm always going to be, having a little bit of fire. That's who I am. As you get older, you start to learn the emotional, intelligence out there to kind of control the environment, control yourself, play your best tennis. I'm the same guy that's always had the talent. I mean, it wouldn't take long if people were watching me play right now to see how well I'm striking the ball. I'm motivated and I'm ready to rock. So I watched you play for about 30 minutes. Everything just seemed in control. It feels like right now you do have a pretty good grasp of, again, each shot, all the feel around the court. And
I'm curious at this stage of your career because, of course, not let alone 16-year-old, 21, 22, 23, 24, you can fly around the court and you can get away with your athleticism, right? You can say, I'm going to outwork you, to your point, outwork you point by point. You think that's still the best game plan for you at this point of your career, or has it been working on the little things that you've always worked on, but really trying to just shore them up as you work your way back?
You know, my style is pretty straightforward. I mean, I serve big. I serve 135, 140. I get a lot of free points on my serve. When I'm holding that comfortably, it allows me to be a little bit more aggressive on return games. I feel like that is a good starting point for me to kind of get a good tone of the match, is to control the games on my serve. You know, I'm obviously looking to play a little bit more offense now. I still move really well. I still, you know, I haven't lost a step at 30. I'm not at the point where I've lost a step. I've always had good foot speed out there. I want to use that as a when needed, not as a by choice sort of thing.
Sure.
I don't envision myself on the fence just running down balls side to side out of my own pleasure. But I'm looking forward to just getting in the moment and kind of firing again and feeling that pressure. I mean, like I said, the first few tournaments back, you're feeling it out. It was a little tricky, you know, first couple matches. After a while, it's like, okay, you know, what do I expect out here? And like I said, within a few weeks, you know, beating guys who have been regulars on the Challenger circuit and winning Challengers in the last several years. And to be honest with you, that's not common. Guys don't miss as much time as I've missed, and then within a few weeks, literally, be able to beat guys like that. So I know that, you know, with me essentially only playing right now 7, 8 out of 10 of what I can play, and yet that's already getting me these Challenger level wins against quality players. I know within a couple months that, you know, I'll be back playing the tennis that I'm capable of fully and ready to go.
To quote Ariana Grande, side to side, that's vintage Ryan Harrison.
Side to side, well, you know, it's a lot tougher to get the other guys going side to side when they're like 5 in the world, 6 in the world. I think my Grand Slam draws have been much noted over the years. I've pretty much taken on just about everybody on every court that you could imagine.
The 9 seed is going to be playing Ryan Harrison.
100%. And I got, there was a while there where if it was 9, I was getting lucky. I was getting like everybody the first couple rounds, which, again, great experiences, but I know exactly what I'm after. Guys are playing really well into their 30s now, and I'm gonna make sure I go out here on my terms for the next few years.
I love to hear it. Well, a couple questions and before I let you go. Story for you. December 2020. Yeah, December 2020, because Christian's run Delray was January, February 2021, I believe. So December 2020, I'm going down to vacation with my parents in Florida. They happen to go to Sarasota. Been fortunate to go there so many times over the years. Obviously, not too far from Bradenton and IMG. I'm running the bridge between Longboat Key, St. Armand Circle, and downtown Sarasota. I'm running from the St. Armand side to downtown, and as I'm ascending up the bridge, I see someone coming down. He's got a tennis player's build, and I'm like, I think I know who that person is. And we had just done this thing on Tennis 1 with yourself, with your brother, and he gets closer. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a Harrison. Gets even closer. It's Christian Harrison running the St. Armand's Bridge on Saturday, and I'm just saying, I think that's why the Delray Beach run happened, and you know our encounter there.
Yeah, Christian always talked about that. He said I saw him, and that was what gave me that edge. And, you know,
little pep talk.
Yeah, I mean, he might be like running around your hometown just to find you every day from here on out.
No, I mean, look, I think it's because I was going faster up the bridge than he was going down. But let the bygones be bygones.
There you go.
Point being, having your younger brother that's a long way to ask this question. Him having success the way that he has, a little extra juice for you in the tank.
Well, I mean, I think that it goes both ways, right? I mean, like we've always had a good relationship. There's been so many years where he's been watching me play at a high level and he's been motivated. I certainly was just so excited, even when I was on the shelf and missing some time with injuries. It almost felt like a second bullet in the tank when you see your brother taking out people, even when you know I'm sitting there in like an elbow cast from surgery, and I'm watching my brothers, and I'm like, you guys can't get away from the Harrison. Somebody's gonna get you. So it was kind of fun just to see him taking it to him. We're looking forward to making that like cohesively work together, where we can both be taking on everybody at the same time here soon.
Any dubs in your future?
Oh, definitely. Dubs comes naturally. You know, even in my worst of times where I've had some struggles in the tennis court, I feel like doubles, I don't ever really feel lost out there playing doubles. It comes very fluid for me. I'll be playing, you know, singles, doubles, whatever I can to get in, and I'll make sure I put some wins on the board.
I think when everyone saw the duo of Harrison Venus, they thought French Open champ. champs. Like, it's just
I think when everyone saw that duo, the first thing they thought was, how do they know each other? And then the second thing they thought was, how are they winning so much? And then the third thing they thought was, wow, pretty good team.
Yeah, it's like, did Ryan spend time in Louisiana?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so. And so, no, it's obviously fun to watch and great more than anything else to have you back on court. And again, my last question for you before I let you go, with all that time off court, what were the things Ryan Harrison does to occupy himself? What were some interests perhaps you got to pursue that you may not have had time for before?
You know, I did a lot of stuff on trying to do what I could psychologically to, you know, develop in that way. Whenever your body is physically injured and you're dealing with stuff, you're trying to make gains however you can, you know, for the career, also for your health and for your overall well-being. And so for me, I spent a lot of time just focusing on myself, putting myself in a good frame of mind, trying to, you know, visualize being back out here and getting back in the moments that I've dreamt of, and looking forward to, you know, remembering the favorite memories and experiences, also remembering the learning curve, so that way when you see me out there again, the best of my career and the new heights are yet to come.
I mean this as a compliment. I feel like you knocked out a good book list as well.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel like, true or false, but yeah, regardless for what it's worth.
Hey, I had plenty of time to do a lot of different things, and now I'm back doing what I love.
That's what I love to hear. Well, we are so excited to get to see you competing once again on court, and appreciate you taking the time to chat. Ryan Harrison, good luck this weekend.
Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome back, Cracked fans, as we continue Media Day here at the 2022 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. And we are now joined by, dare I say, the returning champion of returning champions here on our Cracked Racquets Network. Of course, the man who has provided us here at CR so many opportunities to do some really cool things over the course of this summer. You know him as this weekend's event director. It's our friend, a former high school coach of the year, Ryan Nahr. Ryan, welcome back to our Cracked Racquets booth. You excited for this weekend's action?
I couldn't be more excited. You know, we got 6 world-class players here for the 3rd annual Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge here at the beautiful Emke Tennis Garden, and we're playing for an unbelievable cause here with the city of Reading for scholarships for the underserved youth here within the city. So, you know, beautiful weather. We're excited to be here, ready to go.
Oh, so excited, and you can see in the background, it's maybe 5 courts like this, maybe 5 in the entire country, and certainly the pageantry, the scenery speaks for itself. But to those of our fans who are perhaps tuning into this Ellesse event for the first time, talk to me about the origins. You talk about year 3, the causes that this event promotes. You know, why should fans be tuning into this event?
You know, the neat thing about this event, I think that really excites the players to want to come here before the U.S. Open as a tune-up event. For our local community here in Berks County, and certainly for the cause for inner city youth tennis, it's a win-win for everyone. It's a spectacle of tennis here in this beautiful Emke Tennis Garden, and you know, the cause is really near and dear to our hearts here at City of Reading, playing for something bigger than just ourselves and utilizing tennis, you know, as much as possible, and being able to provide a ton of scholarships for kids that might not get that opportunity usually inner city to use tennis as a platform to change their lives.
And for the Emke family, who of course play the role of our generous hosts, talk to me about their commitment not only to this event but to that Reading tennis community.
Absolutely. You know, you think about tennis in Berks County, there's, you know, like a Mount Rushmore here in Berks County of tennis, and the Emkes are certainly on that. Just being able to work with them collaboratively each year to do this event is an honor and a privilege for me, and you know, for all of us from here, just being from Berks County, to be able to use tennis as a platform to make an impact is very, very important to me and very important to the Emkes.
This is the only tennis event on the calendar where players, fans, whatever it is, you come to this event, you're guaranteed to put on 5 pounds as well, with all the fantastic food, beverages, just again, the accommodations. This Emke family really does make this feel like a home style event. And you know, again, it's not just the Emkes. Can you talk to me about some of the other, obviously you see all the logos behind us. It takes a community to make an event like this happen. Talk to me about the support you've seen from the Reading community.
Yeah, it takes a village every year. This is our 3rd annual. We started this in 2020, right, as kind of a quick in during the COVID time. Not a lot of tournaments happening, events. We birthed this thing, you know, within a few weeks, and last year made it better. And even this year it has grown, and some of our amazing sponsors that have just stepped in, they understand that it's number 1 for a great cause. Number 2, they're going to get to see world-class tennis here in Berks County, which is something that, you know, this event, up until this time, it's been almost 10 years from the Legends of Tennis that were here for almost 20 years. This is our generation's event. You know, for this, you know, I run Hits for Hope, which is the largest tennis tournament in Pennsylvania. That's at the beginning of summer. This book ends it at the end of summer. It's just, you know, for me, the hours, the time spent, it's all worth it when you see it all come together and you give your community that opportunity to be able to do something that a lot of communities don't get. And for me, that's just amazing to make an impact in so many ways.
Absolutely, and we've got the Players Party here tonight for fans to have that opportunity to engage with the entire field. We've got tennis starting 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday. It'll continue Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, I want to say.
8:15.
Yeah, 8:15 for our semifinal rounds. You look at the field this year, and I'll just go through the names quickly. Obviously, Hugo Gaston, a top 75 player in the world, I believe currently number 68, but always a pleasure to have someone that talented. You've got a Grand Slam champion, former world number 40 in Ryan Harrison. You've got Smeet Nagal, Jonas Forjutek, and I'm blanking on it, Michael Zhang, and of course Nicholas Bible. There you go. I still got it, folks, even with all these names going through my brain. But obviously you've had some great fields here over the years. Last year we got, whether it was Mukund Sasakumar, Ernest Golbis, all these different players, Ty Kwiatkowski, Dennis Kudla. Why do you think players keep wanting to come back to play this event?
I think the neat thing here is the hospitality, the opportunity to play at such an intimate, beautiful environment. I think a lot of times they get out into the world of tennis, and there's so much, it's such a rat race going around to these major stadiums, major events, to be able to kind of sit back for a weekend and have more of a personable approach, a very laid back approach, and something that, it's about the experience, not just for us putting it on, not just for the spectators, but also for the players. We want to put a first class experience on here, and we understand what that takes, and we have a team of people that we want to be first class in everything that we do, from our hospitality to our trainer Todd Snyder to you guys with Cracked Racquets. I mean, we want to be first class, and we truly believe that the team that we put together, whether that's in the cornfields of Iowa with the Court of Dreams Classic, or here in beautiful Berks County, that these players are getting that opportunity and also getting the chance to prepare the way that they need to prepare for the bright lights in New York.
Absolutely. With one of these events, I'm going to beg Todd Snyder, can you please try to fix my back? Because I still think I got 5 years on the pros in me, and if anyone's going to get that, it's going to be Todd. So certainly that's exciting. I'm not going to ask you for a winner, because I know as event director you wouldn't give me one anyway, but let's talk to me about the tennis. What can fans expect on court these next 2 days?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a phenomenal, this is definitely, of the 3 years, our deepest field.
Yes.
Each year, it is just the process that I go through. I probably have 40, 50 players on the radar. Beginning of summer, kind of reach out, put the feelers out to a lot of the returning players. And then, I go to Europe, I go to Wimbledon, I go to Salzburg Open, I go to Kitzbühel. I meet players, I collaborate, I touch base, talking to players, agents, families, things like that. And it all kind of happens pretty organically. And, that's certainly the hardest part, but also it's the most rewarding part when you're able to bring players here, the Hugos, the Sumids, the Ryans, to Berks County, and that they're so great with the people here. These players do an unbelievable job, and I think it's very reciprocal that we show them that warmth and hospitality.
How many times will Orion be called for in both you and Harrison turn this weekend?
Over under, I'm going 20.
I was going to say 20 and a half.
20 and a half. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's already happened 5 times.
Right.
And so we're working our way there. But again, Ryan Nahr, can't thank you enough for including our Cracked Racquets team in this sort of event, and obviously at the Madison Keys Field of Dreams, Court of Dreams, celebration of tennis event. Now here at the Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge, we are excited to be back and always excited to get the chance to work with you. So Ryan, thank you for having us, and always a pleasure getting a chance to chat with you.
Thanks a lot, Krusk, and thanks a lot to the Cracked Racquets team. We love having you guys. You're part of the tennis family here, Iowa, and everywhere in between. And we're looking forward to a great weekend.
Eventually, you'll be on that Reading Mount Rushmore. I'll be right next to you, my friend. But again, Ryan Nahr, thank you so much. Welcome back, everyone, to our Cracked Rackets media day here at the 2022 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. Now, of course, all day long we've been filming at the beautiful Emke Tennis Garden here in Reading, Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. The nomenclature's still unclear to me, but what's very clear is the support we've gotten from the Emke family, their commitment to this event, being able to put it forward these past 3 years. And joining us now to talk about that commitment, talk about what tennis means to the Emke family, my adoptive older brother, our friend, Chris Emke. Chris, welcome here to our Cracked Rackets media booth. Thank you for having us once again. Let's just start with the big picture question. To be able to host this event, I see the smile on our parents' face. What does it mean to you guys to be able to bring this all in?
Well, it's another chance for my mom to get her cookies out. So it's just it's more exposure. It's all a marketing ploy to get the cookies promoted. So, JudysCookies.com. No, this. There was seven of us. In the family, tennis has been a big part of all of our lives. We all played, even through college and beyond some, and so it's been just a big part of our life. And so, as time goes on, to be able to bring as much for the community, but to bring the community together and have something like here to have such a high level of players being in this is, it means a ton.
Mm-hmm. No, please.
No.
Okay, perfect. And obviously, with that in mind, for you personally, I know you obviously work in training some of these players, in particular one player here, Ryan Harrison. You've worked with him from a fitness perspective for a little while now. I'm curious how an event like this, an exhibition 3 days before U.S. Open qualifying or whatever it may be, how does that fit into a player's schedule, in your opinion?
Well, everyone's different.
Sure.
Every player, even the 6 players that are here, have a little bit of a different routine. Sure. Some focus more on the mental, the physical. So everyone's kind of in a routine in their calendar year. Mm-hmm. And obviously, there's times when there's setbacks and you've got to change things. Mm-hmm. So Ryan is starting a comeback. And so for us, a lot of our time was spent just getting him mobile, getting him loose, getting his body so he could functionally move the way it needed to.
Sure.
And now that we've cracked some cement. And a few rackets on the way, along the way. So now we're focusing on some different aspects. But for Ryan right now, a lot of it is the flexibility, mobility, some speed, some slow endurance stuff. So. But yeah.
No, and, with that perspective in mind, I'm curious, big picture, some of the things we always talk about on our Cracked Racket shows is, what has changed over the game over the past 5, 10, 15 years. And to me, especially honestly, in both the men's and women's game, the first thing I think about is the physicality, what it takes just as a top 100 athlete to be able to compete point in, point out. Like, again, you could throw the world number 612 and, Pete Sampras would be like, what is this guy doing from a fitness perspective, and how do I get on that program? At least that's my perspective on it. Obviously, you work a little bit closer to it all. Do you feel as though the physicality, that's the biggest difference between generations?
Oh, absolutely. And I think now we're at a point where it's not an option. Yeah. It's almost like saying I'm going to go without my backhand or out my forehand. I mean, you really can't. And it's in all sports, but tennis absolutely. And you really can't. I mean, your talent's only going to get you so far if you're not going to work. Mm-hmm. And so, absolutely, it provides an opportunity for all of them, and to work smarter. And I know it's hard, but smarter. A lot of the pros and a lot of players are just playing a lot less tennis now.
Sure.
And training smarter. So we talk about the physio, the strength, the massages. A lot of the biotech things are available, like cryotherapy, red light therapy. There's a lot of factors in there that players can take advantage of and realize that, wow, they actually can play better. Mm-hmm. Their longevity is greater, and their performance is better. Mm-hmm. So no, it's that paradigm shift is changing quite a bit.
I'm pretty convinced that the suction cup treatment is just to hide hickeys. No one's actually done anything. It's just I went out last night.
Yeah. We have to get them on the neck, a couple of them on the neck. It's more of just a way to hold back and
tactical.
Yeah, it's
tactical suction.
Yeah.
No, it checks out. But again, obviously for you, let's have some fun. Talk about this Emke family again. 3rd year doing this here. Of the Emke siblings, number 1 tennis player was
Chris. Oh, what was your question again?
Unequivocal, hands down. Come on now.
No. It look, we all played. I mean, I know after college, I played a little bit on the satellite tour and did some things, but on any given day.
Yeah, if you're playing, Baby Dave ever take a set off you?
Let's see. Our age gap is so big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That,
but,
yeah.
Like maybe he's 16.
In my
or
prime,
17.
he was in his diapers, so I don't know that maybe that was a fair. No, right now he would have fun with me.
Yeah, but fun until it's 4-all, and then you'd win, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I wish I could say that, but no.
And you know, again, for my final question, to bring an event not only this to your family, but in this community and what tennis has meant to this community, and to be able to be a part of this, you know, why is it important to be able to come to the grassroots and show off this level of tennis here in this sort of setting?
Yeah, no, I mean it's exciting. Because really, when you think about growing up here and playing here, and a lot of the guys that are here are guys when I was little, I'd play matches against Hutch, right? And and so growing up and now kind of coming full circle and being able to bring this level here and kind of have this kind of exposure and have everyone come together at an event like this with players like this in a very intimate setting. I think it's just fantastic.
You played Hutch in tennis? We're gonna have to restart this interview because I need to know everything.
Well, geez, I don't remember if we ever played. Actually, I know he was always at the same clubs. I was at, and
sure.
I was a little guy that was always kind of
knocking on him, and you're like, "Come on, Hutch, let's hit."
Yeah.
Does anyone call him the Don other than me?
He's always been a legend, so I don't know if the Don. No, I think you're maybe the only one, but
I go with the Don because I call him the Don Hutch Hutchinson.
Yeah, he's so important to tennis in this community. It's all these guys are.
No, the true Pied Piper. But again, Ryan Naur said it. I would echo this sentiment. When they make the Reading tennis Mount Rushmore, the Emke family is going to have at least two faces on that Mount Rushmore, and it's probably going to be your mom and dad. But
pick the two best looking ones. I guess,
exactly. But again, really appreciate you guys playing host to us. Appreciate you hosting this event, and looking forward to getting to hang out throughout the course of the weekend.
No, thank you very much. Yeah.
Welcome back, Cracked fans. We have our final interview here on Media Day of the 2022 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. And don't tell any of the other players I said this, but we may have just saved our best interview for last, as we are joined by one of the hottest players in all levels of tennis right now. You know him best as the junior boys singles Wimbledon finalist. I know him as our friend Michael Zay. Michael, welcome to our Cracked Interviews booth here. Let's start, obviously, big picture. It's been a busy summer for you. How are you feeling, my friend?
Yep. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, I mean it's been a great summer. Some success, and yeah, I'm looking to build on that, of course, and have a good fall in college, and then yeah, hope to do well here, and then just keep things going.
I love that. Yeah, it's been somewhat successful summer. You make a junior slam final. I would agree. I think it's been somewhat successful, and again, I want to take us back to 3 years ago, 2020, 2 years ago, however you want to say it, because word on the street is at the time, Lotto, now obviously Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge from that 2020 summer, you participated in it as a 16-year-old, and you got that opportunity to compete with guys like Dennis Kudla, Ty Kwiatkowski. What does it mean to you 2 years later to be back at this event?
Yeah, it's obviously a very cool event. I think 2 years ago, that was probably the first time where I got to experience the higher level against like professional players.
Sure.
And then yeah, it was just a great experience overall. And then I'm like super happy to be back here again. I think even it's a field that's even stronger than it was 2 years ago. So it's amazing to be back here.
What's it like to play on a court like this? I can't imagine you've played on a lot like them in your career.
No, it's a amazing town, amazing facility. It's just like super nice family. They make you feel very welcome. And then the court is amazing. It's single court, very quiet, peaceful, and honestly perfect for playing tennis.
Have you had any chocolate chip cookies yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, because you're 18, so you can get away with it still. So I'll put the count at 6 for you today and then 6 tomorrow, and we'll keep working our way through. You mentioned, obviously, the opportunity to compete with some professional players a few years ago. I want to ask you about Wimbledon, and I know you've been asked about it a million times. Let's just start with the grass court tennis itself. Now, I'm sure winning makes everything feel good. I hate grass court tennis. I think it's miserable. I'm curious what your first experience was like with it.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't enjoy it either. Yeah, it was a tough transition for sure. I think my dad was the one telling me that my game would suit grass. But then I was like, it's tough, I'm not hitting the ball that well. But then, Wimbledon was a little bit different, where the bounce is a little bit better, more similar to hard. And then I think I just kind of found my groove, where I get a couple matches in, and then, I think at one point I was like, I found it. This is it. And then I kind of just went with it. And then, I wasn't expecting to make the finals, but obviously I just took it one match at a time, and then it just kind of happened. And then obviously a great result. And then, I'm happy that happened.
Yeah, it was a decent result, to say the least. And obviously Sebastian and he was playing with Alex, I want to say, were the junior Wimbledon doubles champions. And certainly over the years, Riley Opelka, former champion Noah Rubin, beating Stefan Kozlov famously, well, I guess now a decade ago. So not famously to you, but famously to kids my age. With that said, I'm curious what it's like, because you're around peers and other players, and certainly coming off of Kalamazoo, guys like Martin Dahm, Ethan Quinn, Samir Banerjee, who was the junior Wimbledon champion last year. How could I forget? Or finalist, excuse me, last year. Finalist or champion? Champion, yeah, he won it, excuse me, last year. These are your peers. These are the people you see having these successes. I know it's a cliche question. When you see Ethan winning a pro singles title earlier this summer on the SoCal Pro Circuit, or again, see Martin go win a pro singles title, do those things inspire you? Do those things actually in your head make you think, you know what, like, I've played Martin since I was 9. Like, I think I can go do that now.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think the U.S. is at a point where there's a lot of good young players that are coming up, and for sure, it's when you see like other guys that you've been training with do well, it gives you a lot of confidence, and then you're like, if they can do it, I can do it as well. And then that's when I think everyone starts shooting up, where the level just keeps getting higher and higher.
No doubt about it. And looking at the Kalamazoo field this year, I was talking about this with your dad a little bit earlier. I think, was that your first professional massage? It looked like it might have been.
Yeah, it was one of the few that I've had.
Yeah, one of the few. Exactly. Our trainer, obviously putting in some work on Michael, much needed. 18 years old, a lot of sores for him. But again, just more broadly, you have these sorts of experiences, and again, you get to play in a Kalamazoo field like that, where Martin, Ethan, Alex, Sebastian, Ozan, I can keep listing names. Do you feel that? Like, I'm curious what that week at Kalamazoo was like. You're coming in, hottest thing since sliced bread, junior Wimbledon singles finalist, what that week was like for you. Obviously, you make the quarterfinals. I know Martin trips you up, but it's a pretty darn good showing, in my opinion. I'm curious what you thought about the week, and just, was there a buzz on the grounds?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I had confidence coming in. I was doing well. I was playing well at the Future before. I think I had a slight hip injury, but then, Wimbledon, I was building off it. I think I was playing good. And then coming in, pretty good results. I'm happy. It was a pretty good week. Obviously, losing to Marty was tough. You always want the wild card, but I was close. But I think he was just like the better player in that match, and he served really well. And then against guys like that, they can beat anyone. So it's like, I think it's a good experience to build off of. And then honestly, I think I was more happy about doubles. It was one of the better doubles results I've had so far. Sure. And I feel like I played great in dubs as well. So honestly, I think it's a positive experience to build off of.
Do you ask for a qualies wild card?
Yes, like I kind of was asking, like, maybe if I could get it, but they said I'm like one of the guys, maybe one of the next guys.
Next in line. I mean, justifiably so, by the way, again, given the summer you've had, and there are a lot of good guys to choose from, right? Certainly Ethan, as a Kalamazoo finalist, deserving of one, and, Lerner's got to get that main draw wild card. He was sensational in the Kalamazoo final. With that said, some of those guys are going pro. You're headed off to Columbia, and we were talking about it before the interview started. You're about 2 weeks away from moving in. And let me just tell you, first week, about as much fun as you'll have as a human being. And you're like, this is real? And it is real, my friend. With that said, and I know this success has come more recently, but you've been a blue chip. You've been a guy at the top of your class for all of your junior career. Why college? Why Columbia?
Yeah, it was like a pretty interesting experience going through the college recruiting stuff. But I think Columbia, just the education, which was very important for like my family and I. It's right up there with some of the best schools in the country. And then I think I just gelled well with the teammates, and I knew like a lot of the guys on the team. Grew up with like the guys that were getting recruited there, and like Nick Hodson, Sachin. Samir was originally headed there as well. Sure. And then I like the coach a lot. Howie, great guy. And then Rich was the one recruiting me. I had a great relationship with them. And then honestly, for me, it was close to home as well. And then honestly, for me, it was between two schools, Columbia and Stanford. And then it was just I think I just gelled a little bit better with the team.
How frequently it is between Columbia and Stanford? A real prisoner's choice, prisoner's dilemma there for you. Obviously, two good choices. I love Howie. I'm such a big Howie. Nothing against Paul, by the way, over at Stanford. And I guess I'm on first name bases with them now. But Howie's the man. I think you made the right choice. And obviously, what the Lions have done over the past decade, the guys they're bringing in, exceptional as well. With all the junior success you've had this fall, I'm not going to ask you a Samir-like question where you're thinking about switching schools, but I will ask, did you all consider taking the fall off, playing more pro events, just kind of riding the hot streak and riding the hot hand that you have on court?
No, I don't think taking the fall off was ever like on consideration, but we're always thinking about maybe a couple years and then down the road see how it goes, and then if I'm still improving and then at that level and still have that ambition, I'd give it a try. But I think I'm just not ready yet physically to just go like weeks on the road, and then just like my body just wants to stand against some of the stronger older guys. So
for sure. And again, worse things in life than to spend some time at college. Are you going to compete in the college events this fall? Are you looking forward to getting after it?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be exciting. Against some of the college tennis has been getting better, and the players, everyone there can play, so it's going to be great competition.
Do you watch Ben Shelton and think, okay, I'm making the right choice?
Yeah, he's the guy, I think, the hottest guy right now.
He's probably number one. You're like five. You're like five on the list, but you're up there in terms of the Americans. Well, again, last two questions for you, then I promise I'm going to let you go. Your game right now, for fans who have never seen it. Describe what it is you think you do best on court.
I think I'm a guy that defends well on the forehand side, likes to look for my forehand. I think I have a good forehand, and when I'm making a lot of first serves, I think I'm good. And I've been trying to develop the transition game more, and just trying to be a little more aggressive in coming in.
I noticed the word backhand wasn't used there. Is that purposeful?
My backhand has always been, I would say, that a little bit of the weaker side. It's gotten a lot better recently.
That's what I like to hear.
And then, yeah, I think it's gotten more solid, and then it's a side I can trust more, I think.
Last two questions for you again. As you make the transition to the college game, it sounds like that transition game, that's what you'll be most focused on improving?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think, in today's game where everyone can just grind forever from the baseline, I think developing the transition game is important, where you have guys like Cressy doing better now.
Yeah, sure.
And then, I think everyone is just trying to shorten points a little bit more. It's important.
Final question for you. Columbia is a good school. If not tennis, what will you be studying at Columbia?
Right now, I'm undecided. Okay. But I was thinking maybe economics or maybe political science, something like that.
I don't think anyone's ever majored in that before. So obviously, no, that's a great choice for you. And again, Michael, the success you've had this whole summer and throughout the course of your junior career, it's been phenomenal to follow. So really looking forward to getting to watch your game here this weekend. I was joking around with our Cracked Racquets partners. All due respect to the Ryan Harrisons, Hugo Gastons of the world. I've seen them play. Haven't gotten to enjoy as much Michael Zhang as I would like. So congratulations to you on all of your success, and looking forward to a fun weekend here.
Right. Thank you, Alex. Yep, appreciate that. Yep.
Welcome back, Cracks fans, here for our final interview on Media Day at the 2022 Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. I'm excited to introduce our guest to all of you fans, as he's had to deal with more of my nonsense than just about everyone throughout the course of this past month when we've been on the road in Iowa, now here in Reading, Pennsylvania. Of course, you know him as the man behind the Tennis Line Call app powered by Ice 3.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Even better. It's, you know what the problem is I don't get the exponent in text form. It just looks like a 3. So Ice Cubed makes far more sense. But of course, it's my friend Julien de Hautois. Welcome, my friend, to our Cracked Racquets booth. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. This is a very exciting time. It's a beautiful court, and glad to be here.
No, great to have you here. And you know, for those of you who don't know, we will have the opportunity to have automated line calling here at our Ellesse Pro Tennis Challenge. Now, of course, these players are still going to call their lines and try to keep things pretty civil, but should there be a dispute, we're going to have automated line calling, and that's due to our friend Julien and obviously his team. Now, this idea of making automated line calling easier, that's the future, isn't it, here in tennis? Having it at local events, having it at your local club, that's the direction tennis is headed?
It is, yeah, definitely. And so, obviously, you know, electronic line calling has been available at the professional level of tennis since the early 2000s with Racquets, and what hasn't really gone forward is that in the last 20 years it has remained available only at the pro level. And so what we've set up to do is to bring that technology to any level of tennis, whether it's at the elite level with the Ice Cube technology and the Ice Cube solution, or at the recreational level, which is going to be the Tennis Line Call app. And that is my second company, which will launch later this year, more of a recreational consumer level product.
Oh, I love to hear that. And Ice Cube is just a name I can get behind for the record, because, and again, why it sounds pretty intuitive to us tennis fans who have been in this our whole lives, but why is automated line calling needed? Why is tennis, you know, is tennis lagging behind where it should be technology-wise?
I think, in my view, tennis is actually one of the pioneers.
Interesting.
In sports.
I like this. A little zig to my zag. This is what I want to hear.
I mean, it started with cricket. Hockey started with cricket and then moved to tennis.
Okay.
But tennis was number 2. And I think tennis, when it comes down to, you know, the replay, the bringing technology to help the referees make the right decision, tennis has been one of the pioneers in this in the early 2000s. And I want tennis, and I want us to drive tennis to be one of the first sports to bring this kind of referee technology at the amateur and recreational level as well.
No, and it's an aspiration I think tennis parents, tennis players of all ages can understand. Certainly nothing is more frustrating than you're at a 14s event, and all due respect to the civil servants we have in the tennis community, aka the line judges, it is a thankless job. You're only going to be noticed when you're doing your job poorly. No one's going to say, hey, you nailed it as a line judge. But just like to have these significant events, the boys in 14s, 16s, 18s, junior events, these high-level, high-caliber, high-expenditure sort of things be decided by human error, just feels unacceptable, doesn't it?
It does, and what's unfortunate is that, you know, through testing our system and going across the country, talking to many different coaches and people and players, what always comes across is that line calling is the number one reason for kids to drop off the sport of tennis, because they get into so many arguments, and some just decide that it's not worth it anymore. And so you know, we love tennis. That's what brings us all together. We have that same passion. There is the adversity with ourselves, the adversity with the opponent. But, you know, it's okay to get mad at yourself, but I don't think it's okay to get mad at your opponent, the person you're playing against, for disagreeing on the line call. I think we can remove that from the equation and make tennis better, and make tennis an even better and more fun sport for everybody.
No, absolutely. And that's what you all obviously are aspiring to do. And I am curious, big picture, and again, just a few more questions for you.
Sure thing.
We heard forever automated line calling technology. I'm trying not to use the nomenclature of the brand that everyone knows. I'm really trying to stick with the automated line calling. How am I doing so far? So good?
Great.
Yeah, I haven't used that other term yet, but automated line calling, there was this myth that it couldn't happen on a clay court. That obviously we see it on the grass courts and the hard courts, but because the clay doesn't remain constant, the word, one of my favorite words, the undulations in the court, that because they constantly varied, the sensors would never be able to lock in. Is that true or false? Are we getting closer to clay court Hawkeye?
You know, I
slipped out there. Darn it. I'm so angry with myself. Clay court automated line call. Sorry, I caught myself.
It's just so long to say, right?
Yeah,
it's like 3 words. We need to come up with something
yeah,
better.
something quick.
You know, I personally, I like that, you know, some tournaments do not have electronic line calling yet, like clay court tournaments, because to me, there is that tradition of the umpire going down the chair and actually checking it out. And you're correct in the sense that when the ball bounces on clay, the ball actually chases some of the dust away. And so you might have a ball mark where the mark actually looks like it's on the line, but actually the ball did not touch the line because the ball
spread
chased away.
The clay away. Sure.
And so the question now is, what is the in call? Is it how much the ball actually touched and whether the ball touched the line or not, or is it the actual mark? If it's whether the ball actually touched, then our technology can help with this.
Okay.
And so that's where I think, you know, the tennis community needs to come together and make a decision on what is the actual rule for this, and electronic line calling can be a great solution for.
No, there's not a single part of your answer I would disagree with. I would absolutely emphasize all that, and the fact that it's no one's saying line judges need to go away. It's that we should never have a line judge make a critical mistake. It's that if the technology is there to ensure that we're getting the call right every time, let's get the call right every time. To your point, so many juniors are just dissuaded and just put down by the constant buffoonery that is junior line calling, to your point. So with all of that in mind, obviously we're excited to see your technology on court here this week. What can we do as tennis fans to support the work you guys are doing?
No, I think what we'd like to do is bring that technology to the masses at the recreational level. So go to your website, check out tennislinecall.com, and drop your email there. We're going to launch later this year with the full version of the app, which is currently in beta. It's available in the App Store, but there are still some things we're figuring out. By the end of the year, it's going to be at that level where anyone can use it, and it will be available, you know, for your matches with friends in competitions. So stay in tune with us, and we look forward to being used on every single court in the world.
Look, nothing wrong with a good beta version of something. Yes,
that's right.
Yeah, we're much like tennis. Things require work to be perfected. But again, Julian, my friend, thank you for tolerating all of our nonsense over the past few weeks. Literally,
it's been fun.
Yeah, exactly. You guys don't understand, because when I show up on site in the morning, I'm hot. Like, you know, I got the words are already flowing, and I got to work out this material works today, this doesn't, and so you guys always get the brunt of that. I'm like, is this funny? Is this going to work? And sometimes like,
Love that you're a morning person. It's great. You know, it wakes everybody up.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Exactly.
It puts us in a good mood.
Human cup of coffee. That's what I've been called. But again, thank you, my friend, for your support. Always a pleasure to get the chance to chat with you.
Thanks for having us.